Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video I'm going to play with some new Unearthly Cosmetics goodies. I'm very excited. I have the new Vitality palette. It's a bigger one. There's so many color options and they're like smaller pans, so I can't wait to see if it is the usual good formula from Unearthly. I also picked up some of their new gel liners, or well, liquid liners. These are the Immortality eyeliners. They're like melted dual chrome liners, so I'm going to see how the formula is on those and use it with the palette. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bree and I'm just a crazy lover of all things beauty, and I like to post a lot of fun colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot of indie makeup, so if that's what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. Hello and welcome, loves. It is a holiday weekend when I'm filming this, so I'm excited. I get an extra day off of work and we're actually going to drive to the beach for a couple days. We're gonna have like a little beach getaway. It's kind of like our last beach trip before, you know, it starts to get a little colder, getting to the fall season and the holidays. So I am looking forward to that because I am such a beach baby. Like, I love the sun, the sand, the ocean. You know, I'm from Hawaii. That's what I love. But anyways, I think we should just get into these products as I don't have a lot of time. And of course, I wait till the last minute to film. That is my life story. But anyways, this is the new Vitality palette from Unearthly Cosmetics, which is a indie brand. They have a very mysterious, kind of gothic, kind of dark, like theming, which I love. I'm a little dark, okay? I have a dark side to me, but I think we all do. But this one goes for $50 and it has a lot of shade options. This is the biggest palette that they've ever done. So there's a lot of options. There's smaller pans in here, which I prefer. Instead of having bigger pans, I'd rather have more color options and have smaller pans, because how often are you going to finish an eyeshadow, especially if you have like a larger collection? So I'll show you up close. I love this like ethereal packaging. I always love their packaging. And then here's the back of it. It has like the ingredients, all the info, and then this is what's the most exciting part, the shades. So there's a big mirror in here, and then here are all the color options. There's 24 shades in here, and there's a mix of 6 shimmers, 18 mattes. These pans are magnetic, so you can take the shadows out, you can switch them around. And I think there's some other palettes that have the smaller pans like this, so you can switch them with. All other palettes are magnetic, so you can kind of customize the palette for how you want it. But I think it's beautiful. I like the options. It has pastels, grungy shades, colorful shades, cool tones. Like, you could do a lot with this palette. I feel like this is something I would travel with because there's just so many options. And then the eyeliners. They're called the Immortality liquid eyeliners. They go for $12.50. It's a new product for them. And these are molten dual chrome liners. And I'm excited to see how these will perform. They're only $12.50, which I think is super affordable. And this is what the packaging looks like up close. It like has like the names and everything. They're like glittery. And the ones that I picked up is Embers, which is like a bronze to gold, or no, a bronze to green. Gem, I think, is like a blue to green. And then Serene is like a red to gold. But I think these are going to be a fun little addition. I think these all have a black base, so they're a little darker. But, you know, it's multi-chromes, or not multi-chromes, more like dual chromes. So I'm going to try these out in this look today. And I think that's all the info that I wanted to give you guys. I am just looking forward to cracking into this. So I'm going to get a little closer, see what kind of looks I can come out with, try out the formula, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts at the end. All right, so let's get into this palette. I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm going to use the Kaleidos Tone Activator Primer. I think it's a pretty good primer. I've had it for a while. I need to use it. And it's like, you know, pretty pigmented. So I'm just going to put that all over the lids. So let's do a mix of color with this first look. So of course I immediately gravitate to this Glee shade, which I'm gonna dust off some of the excess. And I'm gonna use that on the outer corner. And in case you're wondering, I do not set my primer. I like to have a tacky base. And I'm just gonna concentrate that out here on the outer corner and bring it up into the crease, but I'm not going to take it all the way in because I want to use some different shades over here. So that's where I want to focus the shade. I'm going to clean this off a little bit on a color switch, and I'm going to go into the shade called Zeal. There is some like powderiness with these shades, but nothing crazy. So this shade right here, this yellow, and I'm gonna use that to blend the edge. It's like my favorite thing to do, especially with greens, is to use a yellow on the edge. So I'm gonna go into the shade called Elation, which I wouldn't think to put with these kind of like shades that I have in the outer corner, but why not try a different combo for once, right? And see how pigmented that is, because it is a pastel. And see if I can make them work. I don't know. I just like trying something different. So let's see. So I'm going to take a little bit of Vibe, which is this shade underneath. And I'm going to take it a little lower than Elation. And I'm just going to bring it more just like right in the crease. And then I'll go back into that lighter shade. I actually really like this combo. Not sure what I'm going to do on the lower lash line yet, but I do want to do a half cut crease again. I actually really like how that looked from the last look that I did. And so I'm going to do it again because I'm enjoying it. Alright, so there's the cut crease. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to go over the edge with Glee, like the outer green shade that we have, just to make sure it looks, you know, diffused and like there's no harsh lines where that concealer ends. So now I want to get into a little bit of shimmers. I almost considered doing an all matte look, but I changed my mind. So I'm going to go into Verve and I'm going to pick it up on this Rougher 28 brush. This looks like it's a dual chrome shade. Like it has a shift to it. And I'm going to take it right here. I didn't even wet my brush. I just wanted to see how it would go right on. Ooh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. So now I'm gonna wet the brush to see if I can amp it up some more. I think maybe it's like a dingy gray based teal, maybe to violet. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Now I want to, I think, take maybe this yellow shade called Energy in the inner portion. I'm pretty sure this has some kind of like pink shift. I think that would look really pretty. So I just cleaned off the Rougher 28 brush. I'm gonna go into that pan and then I'm gonna wet my brush and I'll see what kind of color this ends up being. Huh. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like meshing right into the Verve shade. But it's just like a little like brighter. So I want to go into the shade called Verdant, this matte white, and I'm going to see how pigmented it is and if it can pull off as a inner corner highlight. Ooh, okay, yes, it definitely can. So I think I'm going to keep everything on the bottom the same. I'm liking the color combos that we have up at the top. So I'm going to go into Glee and connect that on the outer corner. I'm going to go into Vibe in the front here. And I'll use like the lighter shades I use at the top to blend the edges. I do want to deepen this up just a little bit. So I think I'm going to go into Thriving on the outer corner with the Rougher 13 brush. And just add that on top just to see if I can get a little bit more depth in this look. I don't know. You know I like a deep outer corner, so I'm just smacking that on and it gives me a chance to use more shades in the palette. So now I'm going to go into one of the Immortality liners. I'm going to go into Gem, which has like that, I think it's green to purple or something like that. And I'm going to use that just like in the archway. Here's what the applicator looks like, in case you're curious. Hopefully it will apply right. And I'm just going to take it right there in the arch here and just go right up there. Ooh, that is pretty. And it was really easy to glide that on. Like I like the applicator. Ooh, oh wow, I love this already. It's like a glittery liner. And it's so shifty. Let me take off the excess and a lot comes on the brush. And then I'm gonna take it here. Go here. Now I'm taking this one a little higher because I might pull up some more of the metallic because I feel like this eye like hangs lower down, or like it just doesn't sit up as high as this side does. And I tend to like lift the brow on this side a lot more. So trying to make them match. Like when it comes to a look, I probably have to take some shimmer up higher. So I think this looks really good. I'm loving the combo. I'm loving the add of the liner. So I'm going to finish my eye look off camera, and then I will be right back to show you guys the completed look. All right, I'm back, and I zoomed in the camera so you guys can really see how the look turned out. I'm very happy with this. I was worried at first, like in the beginning, I was like, I'm not sure if this is gonna come out right, but I decided to trust the process, finish the look, and I am so happy that I did. I like the combo with the purple, the green, and I'm really liking this liner. It's fully dried down at this point. It was nice and opaque. It wasn't streaky, because glitter liners I've tried in the past would be like streaky, and I kept having to try to layer them to get it fully opaque, and I did not have an issue with this liner at all. And it has such a beautiful shift, and it's matching, like, you know, the fact that I have purple and green, and that's what the shift is. Oh, I'm so happy. I love how this turned out. But what I did off camera was I went in with the Beauty For Real High Def Mascara. I used the Dreamy Creamy Liquid Lipstick from Nabla. This is a shade Hedonist. I wanted something nude on the lips. And I used the Luxe Liner from Juvia's Place in Sweet Nothing. And for my waterline, I went in with the ColourPop liner and Exit, which is a white, but I decided to top that liner over with the Verdant shade to make it a little bit more white and bright, which it definitely did. And I did use the Huda liner to create a wing right here, the usual. I need to get another one because that one's kind of dying out on me. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it that I did off camera to complete this look, and I'm just so happy with it. I'm very happy. I hope you guys think this looks good, because I do. And I'm so happy I brought this up a little higher, because like I said, this side likes to go up. This side, I can't get it to go up. I don't know if you guys have that same issue. So this one always like looks a little lower than this side. So now I think it finally matches for once. But yes, that was everything for the first look. And I think I'm now ready to get into look number 2. So I did prime my eyes again with the Kaleidos Tone Activator Primer. I did not set it. So now let's get into the palette. So I'm going to go into the shade called Spirit, the olive shade, because I have to see how that works, because I love a good olive. And I'm going to use that through the crease. It's just like an initial transition shade. So I'm just going to see how the pigmentation is, how it blends. Oh, I just love olives. And I'm so excited. We're getting into fall. I got some fall scented candles, and I can't wait to, you know, just like start decorating. I haven't yet, but olive always makes me think of fall time. So now I'm gonna go into the shade called Gusto, which is a beigey shade. I feel like it maybe leans a little pink, but I'm gonna use that to blend out the edges. I'm doing more of like a more muted chill look in this one, just to see if we can do something, you know, more on the muted end with this palette, which I feel like you can because it's so colorful. Like there's just so many different options. Normally I don't go towards a beige or, you know, more nudie shade in a palette, but I want to switch it up. Yeah, it definitely has a like a pink tint to it. So that went nice, everything blended. I did extend it a little bit out here to create a little bit more this. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So now I'm gonna go into the shade called Live, this deep brown. And I'm gonna use that on the outer corner. And by the way, I've been using the Rephr 13 brush with all of these shades and just like cleaning it off. Just like a perfect little blendy brush to really get up in there and like the crease and everything, and it's so good if you have hooded eyes. But I'm going to concentrate that on the outer corner, kind of bringing it out to where I've extended it. Then I'm going to take this short little flat brush from Vintage Cosmetics Company, and I'm going to take the Live shade, the brown, and I'm just going to run this down, this brown down here, all the way down. I'll probably take that beigey pink shade to blend out the edges. So I think I'm good with the mattes now. So I want to get into some shimmers. I think I'm going to go into Zing, which is kind of a pinky metallic, which I feel like will go with like the pinkiness that's on like the edge up here. And we'll see how that goes. I'm not gonna fully cover my lid in because I want to use a different shimmer in the inner portion. But we're just mixing up shades. We're gonna see what we can come up with. So, whoa, that picks up really well on a brush, but I am gonna wet it, even though I don't really think it needs to be like wet, but I prefer to do that. And I'm gonna take that here. Okay, that is very vibrant. That is so beautiful. I feel like this shade would be such a beautiful like sheeny blush topper. And I kind of want to put on my cheeks because I love like really glowy blushes and it's so smooth and just the tone of it. I think I'm going to do that after I finish this look. We'll see what we can do with that shade. And I kind of want to take a little bit of mint. Is that going to be weird? It might, but we are going to find out. So I want to take this Bounce shade, which is a minty metallic, and I'm going to use the same brush, the 28 brush from Rephr, and I'm going to pick it up, see how well it picks up on a brush. Whoo, that fully coated. Maybe get some off. Kind of went too hard in that pan, and then I'm going to spray it again, and hopefully this doesn't look crazy. This is stunning minty shade. Leans a little bit more blue. Is this like the weirdest combo you've ever seen? I don't know. Who knows? But makeup is supposed to be fun. Try things out. You never know. You might fall in love with a different kind of color combo. Now for the extra fun part. I want to use the shade called Vibrancy, the matte mint. This one actually leans more green on the mint end. And I'm going to use that in the inner portion. I'm going to see if that is opaque enough to be an inner corner highlight, which I think it is. Ooh, I love using a minty. What am I trying to say? A minty matte in the inner corner. Ooh, that's pretty. Maybe I'll take it a little further. So I was definitely able to use that as an inner corner highlight. I do want to make it a little bit lighter though, so I'm going to go over with the Verdant shade, the white matte. And I'm just going to lay that in the inner portion just to make it even lighter. See if I can do that with this shade. I think that all came together. So now I want to go into one of the liners. I think I'm going to take the shade called Embers, which is the greeny bronze shade. And we'll see what we can do with this. I know I definitely want to do a wing. So let's start off with that here. And then it has a black base, so it's gonna work perfect as a liner. And this applicator is doing a great job at applying the product. Okay, so now I wanna create the outer wing. And I'm gonna go like here, down here. Hopefully I don't mess this look up totally. And I kind of want to go like this, just on the outer edge. I think that's it, what I'm going to do with this liner. I'm just trying to get that here. So I'm going to finish the other eye off camera. And I think I'm just going to go and finish the rest of my look up, like my lips and everything, mascara. And I will be right back to show you guys the finished look. Okay, I'm back. I zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see how the finished look turned out. I like this because it's more neutral with a little bit of pop of color. And I'm loving the combo. I think it came out to be really cool, even though I was like mixing shades that I never would. But I think it's really pretty, like the mint in the inner portion. That Zing shade is gorgeous. And now I just remembered I wanted to use that on my cheeks to see if I could use that as a blush topper. So I'm gonna go in with like a little highlight brush like this. And we'll see, because this looks like it needs to be on my cheeks. Which, let's see. Oh my god, yes. You can totally use this as a blush topper. I mean, there's a little bit of like fine shimmers in it, but they're not like super chunky. Wow, that is so pretty. if you like a little glowy blush moment, you would probably love this because the color is gorgeous. Like if you're like my skin tone, even lighter, or it would be like a beautiful highlighter if you had deeper skin. Okay, yes, you can totally use that as a blush topper or highlighter. It's so pretty. But what I did off camera though, let's get back to the eye look. I used the LA Girl Shockwave liner and Fresh in the waterline, and I actually did top that liner over with the Vibrancy matte right here, the Minty matte in the palette. Then I also went in with the Beauty For Real High Def Mascara. And then for my lips, I'm actually wearing a liquid lipstick. And this is from Glamlite. This is the shade called Chocolate. It's a nice, like, you know, warm tone chocolatey shade. Thought it went perfect with the eye look. And I think that's all I did off camera. I didn't do much to, like, complete the look. But I think it's gorgeous. I love how my cheeks look now. I'm really happy that I could create two totally different looks. All right, so I just want to get ready to my thoughts. I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but I think this is a really good palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. It's the usual good formula from them, and I'm not surprised. I have yet to be disappointed by any of their products. I love the shade selection. You have so many options, and I love that the two looks that I did are completely different. Like one had a little bit more color in it, a little bit of mixture here, and this one is a little bit more toned down with a pop of color. I just love how both of them turned out, and that shows you there's just so much variety in this palette on what you could do. Something a little bit more nudie, or you can go super colorful, more cool tone, more warm tone. Like you can do a lot with this palette. I feel like the mattes were pigmented, blendable. They all wanted to, you know, hang out together. There was no patchiness issues. The only shade I felt like you had to build up a little bit was the Spirit shade. Like once I layered it up, it was fine. I also think the metallics are really pretty in here. Some of them are dual chromes and have really beautiful shifts. I was very surprised by this Zing shade. I love how it looks on the cheeks as well. And I think the matte white had, you know, really good pigmentation. And for the metallics overall, they are more softly pressed in the pan, so they're really easy to pick up. Some of Unearthly's other palettes, the shimmers are like really firmly pressed, and I don't feel like they're like that in this one. But like they're similar to the shimmers in like the Fall Magic palette or the Lure palette, or some of their like older palettes. I feel like the shimmers are more like that in the consistency, which I prefer because it's easier to pick up. You don't have to dig too much into the pan, and they're beautiful and sparkly. And overall, the whole palette was an amazing experience, and I really want to do another look with this, so I will try to do one on my Instagram. And just trying to balance the time on filming videos, work, personal life, and Instagram is a lot, but I'm trying to do a better job at it. As for the gel liners, not gel liners, the liquid liners, the Immortality liners, I think they're really beautiful. I love the shifts on them. They have little sparkles in them, and they just add interest to your look. If you just want to, you know, do something a little different, just throw on one of these eyeliners and it can totally change up a look. They were really easy to put on. I didn't feel like they were streaky. Like one go, you could get good opacity. And I feel like even when I layered up the liner a little bit, they didn't get chunky, crumbly. There was no issues. I think the formula seems really nice. They do completely dry down. Like I don't have any like, you know, tackiness left, and I think they're just like lasting really nice on the eyes. And I like the different color options. I could totally see myself picking up the other two. They were really easy to put on, and I think the applicator was actually pretty easy to use. Like I could actually use what's in here to create wings and glide the things on. So overall, very happy with these liquid liners. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for all of you, gave you, you know, a good amount of information to decide whether this is something worth picking up if you didn't. And if you already did, hopefully you are loving it. But you will have to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether you purchased or passed. Have you tried Unearthly? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you enjoy this video, you like a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, you like a lot of stuff on indie makeup, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will link the products where you you can find them. I'll link the rest of my makeup that I'm wearing in case you are curious about that. I will also link other videos of mine that I've done, like ones on other Unearthly cosmetics products, in case you're interested in watching those. I will also have my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_beauty, and I post a lot of other things on those platforms as well. So if you want to see a third look, definitely check me out on Instagram. And that was everything, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, for clicking on this video and sharing a little time out of your day with me. I really, really appreciate it. But I do hope you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world, and I'm just sending you all so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.